hasn't started. Alright, good afternoon all. Welcome to the web development videos for Class of Consulting Limited. If you are to search our YouTube channel, for those who doesn't know how to search for it, this is the name of the YouTube channel, Class of Consulting Limited Academy. If you are searching from Google, this is what you want to search for. Microsoft Computer Institute. Let me assure that my video is running. Alright, it's okay. So, this video is designed to introduce the JSF, or anyway, the web development in Java using these technologies. We're going to use the JSF framework, which is the popular framework known for web development in Java. Then we're going to use the Bootsfaces. And as we all know, Bootsfaces is a modified version of Bootstrap. Bootsfaces is used by the Java developers, which is actually a combination of two things. It combines the parentheses plus the Bootstrap. We shall talk about this theory. Bootstrap. So if you combine these two, you come up with what we call the Bootfaces. These are UI builders. As we all know, Bootstrap is the most responsive UI builder when it comes to web development. Globally, everyone knows about that. Now we shall discover, we're going to use the parentheses, we're going to use the HTML, we're going to use the Spring framework, the Hibernate, and many other frameworks. The requirements are these: Apache Web Server. I'm going to use Apache Web Server 9.0.4. And the MySQL local DB server, I'm going to use 5.5 or 5.4. And then the NetBeans IDE, we're going to use 11.1 NetBeans IDE version. Then the JDK, I'm going to use JDK 1.8 or higher, anyone. And then we're going to use the parentheses jar file, that is the library for the parentheses, and then the JSF. And then this Maven must not necessarily be utilized by us, unless if you can have a connection, a constant network. Then you could use the Maven to manage your dependencies and all that. Actually, these are not the only requirements. There are a lot of requirements. With time, we shall start showcasing how they work and what they are and how we're going to utilize them and integrate into our development. This is the book. It's going to be shared across our YouTube channel. WhatsApp group. This Java, the meaning of JSF is Java Server Faces. Formerly, we were using JSP, Java Server Pages. JSF is more light, and it is the successor for JSP. So JSF, as it is known, it has an MVC style. A typical JSF application consists of the following parts. These are the parts of JSF: the Java beans, the event-driven development, and pages that represent the MVC. Look at this. These are the things we use. This is what we call the MVC: the model, the view, and the controller. Model, view, controller. Model, view, controller. So the view are your pages. The model represents the requirement for your development, and then the controller represents the component and the event-driven, the listener. I think those who have attended the Java SE knows about listener. If you want to trigger something, you want to trigger an event, you have to employ this event listener and all that. So the JSF is an MVC implementation. Of course, we shall discuss this theory more and more. My intention is just to start up a project so you see how it works, and then later, maybe in the subsequent classes, we introduce the theory. If you want to start up our JSF project, this is what you do. As we said, we're going to use this Netflix ID 11.1. You click on File, click on New Project, and then this is what you're going to see if you are using 11.1. As I told you, we have Maven. If you use Maven, you don't need to include any jar file in your project. Maven will manage your dependency. Either Maven or Art, they are the building environment for Java. But then if you are using them, you have to be on network on all times whenever you are developing. So, but then let us use web. We're not going to use Maven because of the complexities of network sometimes. So, and then this will enable you to understand that whenever you want to perform a particular function that requires a particular jar, then you need to download it yourself and integrate it, which is a very good starting point. You click on web developer in Java web, and then you click on web application. Then you supply the name of your application here. Let's give it the name of the project we wanted to come up with the development later. Let's say Akasol Online. So then you select where you want it where you want the project. That's the location for your project. Let me select D drive and then create a folder. Let me create a folder here and maybe web. Java web projects. Okay. So this is the name of the folder, and then I'll open it. So all my applications will be situated here. And then this is the name of the project, and I'll click on next. This is where you have to select your web server. I think among the requirements we mentioned here, we mentioned the web server. Probably in the next video, I'm going to discuss what are the connections, why are we going to use these things, what are their functions. But I just want to create something here. So maybe when we are explaining, you understand that this is the web server the server that enables the web application to run. And this is your Java EE. We said we're going to start using Java EE technology. This is not Java SE, Java EE. And then you click on next. So this is where you're going to select the framework you are going to use in the project. We said we're going to be using the Java server Faces. So you click on it, and then if you're going to use the Spring MVC, you select it as well. This is the version, which is the 4.0, and this one, the latest version is 2.2. And then if you go further, you may select this Facelet, which is also a library under the JSF. This Facelet, we're going to be using it. You see, instead of JSP, we're going to be using what? Facelet. And then this is struct. If you want to, we'll discuss this later. Allow it for now. Okay, I'm not going to discuss database connectivity. So we don't need Hibernate for now. Let us just create a simple UI and understand how we're going to interact with it. But in a realistic project, we need to select the connector for the Hibernate, the ORM mapper, and the JDBC connector and the database and test it, as we've been using for Java SE. So then you click on finish. This is a very simple for beginners, simple project for beginners in web development in Java. So when it is done, you see the name of the project listed among the project list here. Let me close everything for us to understand something here. Let me close everything, and let's concentrate on the most important part of this. Is the most important, which is the index.xhtml. This is what we're going to be using. We're not going to be using the HTML pages, rather .xml pages, the extensive markup language. So this is the first project, and then by the time you are here, please select an appropriate browser where the one you wanted to be using for running the application. In most cases, I use Chrome. You can use any. Then you click on the run for you to test whether the application is really running correctly or not. Please, if you know you are not grounded in HTML, please go and learn HTML. We're going to be using HTML here. We're going to be using HTML, of course, because all web applications are using HTML. Even the Bootfaces, it's HTML, but a modified HTML, right? So you're going to be using HTML. Please look at it. We have the HTML, we have the docu type, we have the HTML, we have the header, we have the closing tag, opening tag HTML, opening tag header, we have title, closing, and opening. So you can now represent something here, a castle. Let's see, a castle project, for example. This is the title of the project. This is body. Maybe we say welcome to acastle.com, and then you click. If you run it again, this is how it's going to. You see how it has run. It says welcome to acastle.com. All right. Sorry, let me magnify. Okay, for all that I've done, you're not seeing it very clearly. Right? So, please look at it very well from here. We have localhost 8080.8080, and then the name of the project /. This is the index. So, going back to the project itself, within the body tag, that's where you're going to write anything about your project. And we said we're going to be using Bootstrap or Bootsfaces. In our next class, we shall see how we're going to use those frameworks to enable us to easily manage the UI development, such that we can divide the page into sections, and then we manage it easily, and then we begin to write begin to develop based on the requirement of our application. But the most important thing is for one to start up a project and run it, and then the project runs, you make some changes and modifications, and now this is to tell you that the project is running clearly and correctly. So the next thing is for us to start using the facilities, the features of our frameworks to manage the page, and then we start. You see, managing the page is not all that difficult. The most difficult part of any programming, any development, is the functionalities you're going to be inserting to achieve or in order to overcome a particular thing you wanted to accomplish. So I think we'll stop here for this very first video. In the next video, we are going to discuss, as we said, we're going to discuss the functions of some of the requirements we have showcased, and then we later introduce how to integrate the Bootstrap, the prefaces, and so many other frameworks to achieve our goal. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and share and like and do all to come up with all sort of things that will encourage us to continue with these good videos on web Java web technologies. Thank you.